Nays sponsors ITV National Weather.
Hello and welcome to ITV News. This is the late update from Calendar. South Yorkshire Fire Service are still assessing the scale of damage done to the region after wildfires took hold of swathes of the county. The Fire Service dealt with 200 separate incidents on Tuesday, one of which was in Maltby in South Yorkshire, where flames tore through a house. The residents have been rehomed, and since then the nearby community has been rallying round to donate cash and essential items. Sally Simpson was there for us earlier.
The smell of scorched earth and burnt buildings still hangs in the air here, and the devastation caused to the homes behind me is still very evident. The people who were living here until just 2 days ago have now all been rehoused in temporary accommodation, while a huge clean-up operation is underway to clear the area and make it safe. In the last 48 hours, the community's response to this awful situation has been remarkable. A great outpouring of support in both essential items and cash donations, which will be passed on to those who need it most in the coming days and weeks. Local councillor Adam Tinsley told me his reaction to the way the community has rallied round.
The response has been absolutely amazing. I think the whole community has come together, so we've had involvement from Maltby Food Bank, Scouts. We've had churches coming offering accommodation. There's been large collections held physically, both at Shore Star and donations received at Edward Dunn. There's been GoFund pages set up. But I'm not surprised at all. I can say we had this community spirit for years, but it came out during COVID as well. A lot of people out there to help and offer any assistance they could do.
Well, the community has worked so quickly to drop off items including blankets, towels, toys, games and electrical items that the council now needs time to assess what everyone needs and where it will go. And that's why they're now asking for cash donations only to the various online fundraising pages which have been set up by local organisations. The local MP told me how aid will be allocated.
We don't know yet fully the extent of the damage when it comes to people's home insurance and contents insurance. People may be covered, but many people might not have that insurance. So we want to make sure when they do move back into the homes, they have the washing machines, the dishwashers, the things needed to live a life.
Earlier this evening, in a joint statement, South Yorkshire Police and the Fire and Rescue Service said that they found the cause of a similar fire on Woodland Drive in Barnsley to be accidental and not deliberate. In a statement, they said the fire is thought to have started in a garden shed and was electrical in origin. They add, our thoughts are with all those residents affected by this fire. Sally Simpson, ITV News in Maltby.
Next to the fears that our water levels are dropping dramatically, water companies have warned that every drop counts after stocks in its reservoirs fell below 62%, 18% lower than usual at this time of year due to the extreme weather that we've had. And this week, the Canal and River Trust took the decision to close a section of the canal, meaning that boats coming from Leeds have to turn back in Gargrave just beyond Skipton. Helen Steele reports.
This section of the Leeds-Liverpool Canal is normally buzzing with activity. Since Monday, it's been a no-go zone. That's because of depleting water levels, described as the worst in a generation.
Well, as you can see by the line of the water there, it's dropped at least a foot. And now these boats, they can't move, they're sat on the bottom.
Johnny Pilling's cafe is within the area that's shut off.
Over winter, with electricity going up and everything like that, it's going to be quite difficult to make that money to keep going, isn't it, I think?
Where we actually board is quite sheltered.
Yeah. Ian Clark works and lives on the water. Well, normally Ian has freedom to cruise the 127 miles of the Leeds-Liverpool Canal, but currently he can only operate within 35 miles of it, between Leeds and beyond us in Gargrave.
The worst case scenario now is they will shut it at Bingley, down, so the Five Rise, all the way down to Leeds, because there's not enough water inflow from the becks.
And that not only causes problems for those working above water level, but for the natural world beneath it. These fish filmed in the River Wharf struggling to survive in 4 inches of water.
They're extremely low, to be quite honest. I've been filming now underwater in Yorkshire's rivers for over 30 years, and I've never seen them at the sites where I actually film. I've never seen them this low.
There's no sign of any significant rainfall to come. In the future then, even tougher times to navigate for those who rely on the water. Helen Steele, ITV News in Skipton.
Meanwhile, police are warning that antisocial behaviour at a North Yorkshire beauty spot won't be tolerated. Hundreds of bottles of alcohol were confiscated at Richmond Falls during the heatwave on Tuesday. Officers also seized sound systems and put out several barbecues that had the potential of becoming dangerous. Police say the site should be used respectfully and that local residents don't want it to be treated like an Ibiza nightclub. A man has been found guilty of murder following the death of Ryan Theobald and Janice Kozlowski, who were stabbed outside a bar in Doncaster on the 29th of January earlier this year. Amrit Jagara fled the scene and went on the run before handing himself in 4 days later. He'll appear before Sheffield Crown Court in August for sentencing. A Doncaster MP says he's frustrated following a no-show meeting on the future of Doncaster Sheffield Airport. Nick Fletcher criticised the Peel Group owners for not attending an 80-minute online meeting to discuss the airport's future, but South Yorkshire Mayor Oliver Coppard issued a joint statement with the Peel Group saying they'll work together at pace over a 6-week review period. Leeds Rhinos have moved up to 7th in the Super League table after beating title contenders Wigan Warriors 42-12 at Headingley. Rhys Martin put away 7 conversions on top of his earlier try with James Bentley, and Cameron Smith also on the score sheet for Rowan Smith's side before Muzi Mustafa scored a final try 2 minutes from time. Finally, the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham will be getting underway a week today, and who can forget the summer of 2012 when London hosted the Olympic and Paralympic Games? Well, certainly not Hannah Cockroft from Halifax, whose 2 gold medals back then catapulted her to superstardom. Well, a decade on, Hannah is still the dominant force in wheelchair sprinting and is keen to win the 1 medal that has so far eluded her. Chris Dorks reports.
18 years since Hannah Cockroft left Wayne Stall's Primary in Halifax, she was back to open the school's new multi-purpose sports field.
This space was literally just a big field when I came here. I remember making little bird's nests and daisy chains on this grass, so it's amazing what they've done. It's amazing to see the facilities that they've created for themselves, and yeah, it's lovely to see it.
What does it mean to have someone like Hannah Cockroft come and see you, because she went to this school?
It was amazing because as soon as I saw her I was like, oh my god, it's Hannah Cockroft, because she inspires me so much because she's a Paralympian.
It's really good because then you can get inspired by her and do more exercise with her.
It's amazing. I'm so glad I've got to meet her.
How old were you when you got your first medal?
So my first Paralympic medal I was 20 at London 2012.
Hannah's got plenty of stories to tell. The wheelchair sprinter has already won pretty much everything in her sport. Everything, that is, except a Commonwealth Games medal. She'll be aiming to put that right next week. And just like London in 2012, when Hannah burst onto the scene, it's another chance to shine in front of a home crowd.
Home games then and a home games now, and you know what, I've been racing 15 years now, so I've got another thirst. It kind of feels a bit like a homecoming, you know. We're 10 years down the line, let's make a new legacy and let's get people active and interested in sport again.
Unlike London, this time Hannah will be in Birmingham with her on and off-track partner. Fiancé Nathan Maguire is a fellow wheelchair sprinter, and he too is targeting a first Commonwealth Games medal.
You've got your engagement ring round your neck as well, so have you set a date yet?
No date set yet, no, there's not been time. We've literally been going from competition to competition, camp to camp.
Hannah takes to the track in Birmingham a week on Tuesday, and by the sound of things there could be another big day to look forward to in the not too distant future. Chris Dorks, ITV News, Halifax.
Oh, congratulations to Hannah. Well, that's the news. Now here's John with a slightly rainy forecast.
A light drizzle is coming in from the west. TUI Blue Hotels sponsor ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Hello again. There was a drop of rain around for some of us first thing this morning, enough to produce this puddle here at Ossett in West Yorkshire. Now there'll be 1 or 2 pockets of rain around overnight tonight. Again, rather like last night, especially in the west of the region. 1 or 2 of them could be heavy, but a good deal of dry weather too, and the overnight low around 14 or 15 Celsius. Here's a lovely Whitby sunset, and there's your sun times for tomorrow, rising at 4 minutes past 5 in the morning. So we will have a lot of cloud tomorrow. We'll have some outbreaks of rain. I think we'll all see some rain tomorrow. Some of that could be quite heavy at times through tomorrow afternoon, but there will be one or two brighter intervals. The brightest of the weather probably up towards Filey and Scarborough on the North Yorkshire coast there. Top temperatures around 19 Celsius, and some further showers initially tomorrow evening, gradually dying away overnight tomorrow night. And then into the weekend. Saturday I think will stay dry. There is some rain threatening from the west, but it shouldn't move in, I don't think, until late afternoon after dark. It's quite warm. Highs of 26 Celsius and a drop of rain on Sunday. Good night.
TUI Blue Hotels sponsor ITV Yorkshire Weather.
Thanks, John. Well, that's it from me for now. Our next bulletin's tomorrow, just after 6 in Good Morning Britain. But from all of us here, good night.